Hello everyone, welcome back to Relaxing English. So today we will focus on a new grammar which is dangling modifier. So I will walk you through what is dangling modifier is and give some example and also give you some tip on how to correct a sentence that have a dangling modifier errors. So without further delay, I will show you what is a dangling modifier. Dangling modifier is a modifier can be a word, phrase, or a clause that fails to modify anything in the sentence. It means that it is a modifier that has nothing to modify. To understand this concept clearly, I will show you some example. For example, look at the example together. After writing, the dog went for a walk. So this sentence, it have a dangling modifier error. This one. So the introductory phrase, or we can call the dangling modifier sentence, it doesn't modify the subject or the main clause because you can know that dog can rise. So the modifier doesn't modify anything in this sentence. So who can write? So we have to fix this sentence. We can add a noun or pronoun to modify. We can say, after writing, she went for a walk with the dog. So the introductory phrase, we have something to modify the subject in the main clause. The modifier modify she, which made the sentence clear, and she referred to a person who can write. So this sentence is correct. Now, take a look at another example. And here are the basic form for you to remember. We have introductory phrase that modify the subject in the main clause. Or sometimes we call it as a dangling modifier phrase or sentence, and the subject of the main clause must be the same as the understood subject of the introductory phrase, and the introductory phrase modify the subject of the main clause. It answers a question of who. Who does that action? So it modifies the subject in the main clause. Look at this example. Looking at the door, then got up and left. So this sentence is correct. It doesn't have dangling modifier error. So who looked at the door? Then raised. And who got up and left? It's still then. So the sentence is correct. We don't have any errors. Number 3, I will show you more on how to fix dangling modifier by giving you some tip. First, you should identify the subject. At the example, while driving to school, the traffic jam was frustrating. So who was driving to school? And who got stuck in a traffic jam? And who was frustrated? The subject in the main clause here is the traffic jam. The traffic jam cannot be frustrating, and traffic jam cannot drive to school. So the sentence is incorrect. Then what should we do? You should place or add a subject next to the modifier. It's possible you can rewrite the sentence to make it correct. You can say, while driving to school, I found the traffic jam frustrating. So the sentence is correct. Or you can say, while driving to school, I was frustrated with a traffic jam. Let's take a look at another example. Having lost the job, the house had to be sold. You should add a subject or the dangling modifier. Having lost the job, he had to sell the house. Because who lost the job? He. And who sold the house? Also still he. Or you can change the dangling modifier into the dependent clause. Because dangling modifier, it is a phrase, so we can change it into dependent clause. After he lost the job, the how had to be solved. So the dependent clause here can be the dangling modifier. We change it from incorrect sentence into the correct one by changing into a dependent clause. One more example, to understand the subject, a great deal of studying must be done. Who understands a subject? To understand the subject, you can add a pronoun or you can add the subject one. To understand the subject, one must do a great deal of studying. Sometimes you can change from passive into active sentence. Sometimes you can change from active to passive sentence to make the sentence correct because we need the subject to modify. One more example, sitting alone in my room. The strange noise frightened me. Who sit alone in your room? And who frightened you? You can change to sitting alone in my room. I was frightened by the strange noise. This one we change from active to passive sentence because we need subject I to modify. Here are the exercises for you to practice. You may pause the video and change the sentence into the correct ones. I assume that you spend time to complete this one. Now I will show you the answer. Running home from school, adult with me, change to. Running home from school, she was bitten by a dog. 2. When only a child, his father took him to the mall, we change to. When only a child, he was taken to the mall by his father. Number 3. Hidden in his pocket. John left the room with the key. Having hidden the key in his pocket, John left the room. Number 4. To understand the directions, they must be read carefully. We change to understand the direction, one must read them carefully. To sum up the thing that we have learned today, dangling modifier, a sentence that failed to modify the subject. So we need to fix this sentence by adding a subject, adding a pronoun, by changing using active or passive voice because we need subject to modify. So that's it for today. I hope you hit like and subscribe to support my video. And thank you and see you in the next video.